My wife found out that I've been lying to her for months about our baby. She's furious.
Oh, is the baby not yours?
Hey guys, there's some self-harm in this episode. If you want to skip this and go to the next story episode, I would advise that. Let's get into it. Well, this all went down about an hour ago, and my wife is still crying in our bathroom with the door locked. Always a good sign.
Oh, no.
Backstory. We had our son, now 11 months old, while my wife is in residency. She took a few weeks off before giving birth and then went back to work a few months after while I transitioned my hours to part-time so I could stay at home and raise our son. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Wife Hates Me. And if you want to submit your own stories and hopefully your wife doesn't hate you, or maybe she does, send them in r/OKStorytime because we can talk about it. So my mom moved in with us shortly after birth in order to help out, which allows me to get a few hours of work per day and also not get swamped with taking care of the baby/housework. She's quite old-fashioned and would definitely not prefer this arrangement with me being a stay-at-home dad, but she hasn't said anything to either of us and has also been a great help. For anyone unfamiliar with a medical residency, it is brutal. My wife has just over a year left. Sometimes she comes and goes for 1 to 3 days at a time, and our son is asleep the whole time she's at home. Dude, that is like literally you're working for like 3 days straight. You come home. The only time you get to see him still is when he's sleeping. This has been helping more as his sleep schedule has shifted to sleeping through the night. And my mom and I make sure that when she's home and the baby is awake, my wife gets him 100%. I know it's been hard on her, but unfortunately, it's just going to be this way for another year because of the medical residency. The first big milestone she missed was him rolling over. When she got home, after missing the milestone, my mom pulled her over to the baby all excited. I thought she was going to tell her, but instead she says, "Julie, you came home right on time. He's been moving about as if he's going to roll over." They both stood there and encouraged him, and right on cue, he rolls.
Let's go.
My wife was elated. She was so worried and guilty about not being there, and she took it as proof that she can still be a present mother while working. I send texts over little things she misses through the day, so it's not completely unbelievable. But my wife has been present for every single big milestone. He coincidentally started crawling with her right there. His first words were right in front of her and began standing, cruising, and walking while she happened to be home. The walking one was difficult. There was a tough 7-day stretch where she just wasn't home during the daytime when he was awake, and his waking went from teetering to walking a couple steps pretty confidently in that time. We put little bean bags in one of his pant pockets so he'd be wobbly and unbalanced, and it looked believable since he fell after the first step like he was doing weeks ago. Yes, it was mean to our poor son. He's like, "Man, I was walking just fine the other day, and
then they take away the beanbag and he can't walk again.
And he's like, today it all unraveled. So far, he can just say, "Mama, Dada, Nana." Yesterday, he started saying, "Bye-bye." My wife has today off and has been home all morning. My mom and I have been trying to get him to say bye all day without giving it away that we already know that he can say bye. Successfully got him to say bye to the ducks at the park. Freaking adorable, I'm sorry. And we both gushed over his newest word the whole way home. My wife was using my phone to take pictures of him and began showing my mom at home while telling her about his sweetest new word acquisition. She was swiping through the galleries. She saw a video from yesterday and goes, "Oh, you never sent me this one." It was literally like a slow motion film happening before my eyes.
John, we're going to get back to the story, but you're old.
You're as old as me now, pal.
I might be as old as you, but I feel like you have oodles more wisdom.
I've got some wisdom in this old noggin.
You got a piece of wisdom for me right now?
Always respect your
And I think the other piece of wisdom that I've learned from John is join OK Storytime memberships.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
It's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Get it now while I'm still alive.
And now back to the story.
I had taken the video of him yesterday waving bye-bye. My wife isn't an idiot. She figured the whole ruse out pretty much instantly. I've never seen her look so upset and heartbroken in her life before.
Oh, that's rough.
I couldn't say or do anything to comfort her. Now she's locked herself in the bathroom crying and won't come out. I'm on our bed hoping someone can please tell me what to do to make this better. But we also have some relevant comments. Commenter number 1, oh man, this is a very different story from the one the title would suggest it would be. Your intentions here are very, very kind, but lying to protect your wife's feelings
is still lying.
It's still lying. It sounds like your wife is feeling some guilt or ambivalence about not being able to spend as much time with your baby as she wishes she could, and pretending that she is a part of all of his firsts isn't ultimately going to help her deal with those feelings. You need to be honest. And you need to be honest with her and give her the space to feel whatever she feels about this. But also, she needs to understand that a lot of working parents deal with the same disappointment she's feeling and come to terms with it. There's another commenter. This is a difficult situation. Right now, my suggestion would be to give your wife space. She needs to process this. It's hard, but the fact that you can't do anything to fix what she's feeling, her emotions are incredibly heightened, not only from new motherhood, but from stress and pressure, and they're hers to ride out until she's ready to be helped. And frankly, she might not want that help from you. While I understand that why you did what you did, and I see the love and compassion that fueled the choice, you and your mother were dishonest in a very complex and conspiratorial way. That's simply it. And your wife, even if she also sees the love behind the choices you made, has been impacted by your dishonesty. She has been wronged. Right now, it's most important that you don't try to fix or chase away that feeling, because if you do, you will not lay a foundation to build up from this low and difficult point. Let your wife decide when she's ready to talk and be helped, and what form that help will take. Give her that space. And we have an update coming up. Didn't think anyone would particularly care about an update, but I appreciated all the insight anyways. So here's the update. After I wrote the original post, my mom took my son to stay overnight with my wife's sister so that the two of us could have the house to ourselves. We pretty much just talked for an hour while constantly reaffirming that we love each other a lot and want to sort this out. I apologized and explained why I did what I did. She said that feeling like she was there for our son's milestones was really just a band-aid solution that didn't actually convince her she was present. She said that if she had actually been using the milestones to feel like she was present, this probably would have felt worse for her. But since she wasn't, in her words, deluding herself into thinking she's actually home, her main issue was that I lied, which hurt her feelings. I apologized and explained that I honestly thought she would prefer the lying if given the choice. She said she understood where I was coming from and that she felt betrayed when she realized, but she sees that I was doing it because I love her and she thinks we'll probably laugh about it with our grandkids one day. Yes, I'm very aware I don't deserve my wife. I don't know if I'd say that with OP.
That's cute.
I think you just made a mistake out of love.
Cute.
This is cute. This is great. Some things came out on my end that I wasn't going to tell her and didn't mention in my last post, that I'm scared she's going to contemplate self-harm. Our uncle did that when I was a child in a part from working a high-stress job where he made a huge and costly mistake. One of my wife's colleagues also did. Being a working mom is bad enough. Being a resident in this program is bad enough. Both combined are a recipe for trouble. Since our son was born and the incident with her colleague happened, I've been afraid that if her home life wasn't perfect, it might push her over the edge. But she's reassured me that that's not happening. And I think saying it out loud also made me realize it was a pretty irrational, groundless fear. Guys, if you want to listen to full episodes, we have 2,000 episodes. I don't know what else to tell you. Go to Apple Podcasts. Go to Spotify. So many. Search OK Storytime in your favorite podcasting platform, and you can hang with us for literally 104 days straight content for your ear holes. But Sam, what are we thinking about this conversation?
I think it's healthy.
I totally agree. I think in the end, when you tell the truth, you're able to operate in reality versus if you do not, then now you're living in this false world and all kind of other repercussions and things can
fall by the wayside,
spiral out from that. So I think they've reached a place, and you know what? They did it with kindness and empathy, but we're also honest. So
yes.
Throwing it down. Throwing it down for that. We love to see it. We ordered takeout and sat together watching the real videos I have of all of our sons first. Yeah, that's another thing. She didn't even get to see the video before. I also have a special photo of picture/videos of my son with my wife, so we went through that after that. She almost choked from laughing so hard when I tentatively revealed the beanbag trick. Dude, gotta love it. I am the laughing stock of her friend group chat. So I guess we're already at that stage and we're laughing about it. Thank you to those who responded to the last post. The stereotype of someone in r/relationships advocating divorce every time anything happens is true. And that's it. That is the last
one
of OP stuff there.